come on in. I'm going to be giving you messages from mid-August to the beginning of September-ish, 2025. My readings are timeless, so just know that whenever you see it and it happens to resonate, then so be it. Yeah. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and my North Noders, please come on in. Yeah. Clear your minds. Just listen. Take what resonates with you in your life and leave the rest for somebody else watching. Obviously, not every single word out of my mouth is going to pertain to you, so just know that. I've already called in everybody's ascended masters, spirit guides, angels, ancestors, and your whole spirit team. So just know that they are in the house. Show me. I have the equator and to be made equal. And then I have companionship and animals. This was the first one, to be made equal. Something that you have been dealing with. You're a Libra, right? What's fair is fair, leveling the scales, trying to find the balance between things. Well, that's that right there. That's you showing up. Okay. Companionship and animals, very nice. Some of you probably have pets, you know, familiars, all of that. You have a connection with animals, I feel. Some of you are empaths, I feel, out of that card. Okay, maybe star seeds. I did call in the higher North Noders, right? Growth and plants. This is crowning you. Yeah, a lot of growth. That looks like a caribou or an elk or something. And usually when, you know, animals or even people back in the day would wear hats, and they were big hats, right? Even the popes and whatever, those hats, you know? Well, the bigger they were or the taller, they would say it would hold more authority or power or whatever that was. So I'm feeling like there's a lot of growth, a lot of, this could be self-empowerment too. I like it. I'm all about self-empowerment, you know, bringing each other up instead of down, right? Raising the vibe. I like it. All right, so we're going to move on here. I'm just pulling the vibe. We need a couple more cards for the vibe. Yeah, solitariness and desert. This is your hope, fear, challenge, and homework. It's number 13, which would be the death card in tarot. So are you feeling like you're going under this transformation alone or something? Or maybe you have been in a little bit of a hermit mode. Hi, everyone. Hello, popping in and out. Yeah, so this is the hope, fear, challenge, and homework. The desert is very, you know, obviously deserted. So there's nothing, you know, maybe you're like there's nothing there. I don't know. Then here's the south node. Oh, we just called in north node. Now we have the south node. So these people or this energy is very low vibing, very negative, depressive, possibly. You get where I'm coming from. All right. I'm going to get a little more of the vibe here. Show me what I need to see. Energy and synergy to be made equal. Yeah, somebody's been really trying to, you know, make things right, I feel, with this equator sign right there. I feel like you've been working on something, trying to make it right. Or something. Balanced. Fair. Out of this dark, low vibing yuckness. I feel like it's a raggedy kind of south node. Like somebody's raggedy in their energy. Ugh. Alright. Carpenter. Yeah. Jesus was that carpenter, right? Yeah. But your old man, or maybe you, being the male, somebody's a carpenter. They like to work with wood. They're really good with animals, however. More than likely an empath. I'm getting that out of that card. Totally. So, yeah. Who gives a shit? This card always catches me off guard when it comes out. This is crowning you for the next few weeks, Libra. Right? Growth and plants. Who gives a shit? I'm not sure how that's going to work out yet. It always does, though, somehow in the reading. Yeah, maybe some people really don't care about growing. They're stuck in their little low-vibing, raggedy energy. That could be. Hello, everybody. Good to see ya. Toxic. Yeah. This is the Hope, Fear, Challenge, and Homework column. Yeah. Yeah. Somebody is on their own, or feels lonely, or something. Card down. I guess that's the one. Hold on. It's in the ethers. South Node, right over this. It's in the ethers. That's a number 2, by the way. I don't know if you care. Hi, everybody, popping in and out. But yeah, something is going on. Something's in the ethers. Hold on, let me put this down. Yeah, I have my Herb Crafters Tarot deck today. I'm going to start with that one. Alright, show me. Somebody doesn't give a shit, but it's wearing on somebody, and I feel like you're the one that's trying to make it fair, or something. Yeah, the World card, it's like refusing change, or something. They don't want to move on, energy and synergy. I'm feeling a stuck kind of place, could be bad karma, could be things going round and round and round like they never change, something like that. The Tower down, 8 of Earth, 8 of Fire, the Justice card. There you are again. Ding, 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 ding. Yeah, it's in the ethers. You're trying to make something right out of some kind of low-vibing, sketchy shit or something coming up in the next few weeks. Yeah, somebody's avoiding a tower or is denying it, because in my readings, the Tower's here, right? It's about the realizations of it. People, they might not see the realizations of it, or they want to avoid it, right? Carpenter right over it with companionship and animals, Who gives a shit? 8 of Earth, working on your craft, Libra. Busy bee. Learning your lessons. Growth, right? 8s are like, only 2 steps away from the 10 of Pentacles, right? And 10 of Pentacles is like your tree of life. So you're working on your tree of life there, But ultimately, something about who gives a shit with the South Node. Maybe you're tired of dealing with that vibe. You're over it, Things are happening fast. Yeah. When there's a fire in the kitchen, you move. You move. Right? This is quick. Toxic. Hope, Fear, Challenge, and Homework. Something's quick. Like quick-witted. You might have to be quick-witted over this toxic BS. Yeah? Making things right. Justice. Yeah, the Cannabis card. Out of the South Node, making things right. It's in the ethers. You're doing it. Are you making something right behind the scenes? Adelita of Fire. Adelitas are healers, right? Making things right. Yeah, you're working on it. The cayenne pepper, I don't think you're real happy about it, but you're making it happen, or you did, or something, but there's no closure. I think somebody's like wanting the closure of things, possibly. 6 of Fire down with the Tower down. Could be a group of people involved, possibly. But yeah, whatever this Tower reversed is, I feel like, yeah, it's that sweeping it under the rug kind of vibe. They don't want to see it. They don't want to deal with it, or what? Carpenter's right there. You know, mushrooms, I'm going to show it to you upright, but mushrooms grow in damp, dark, you know, atmospheres, right? So whatever that toxic was, they don't want to even see the toxicity in themselves, I bet. Whoever that is. Looks like they know they I don't know, something. 8 of water reversed. Yeah, who gives a shit? Right there. Ding, 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 ding. This is funny. You know, you're working on stuff. You don't give a shit about this anymore, or somebody doesn't. They don't want to deal with it. It's, you know, is it getting old? I think is what I'm feeling. Something's like, you know. Show me. I need a bunch of cards, please. Alright, we got 5 of Earth. Yeah, it is very disappointing. I feel like somebody might have been pushed out of a connection, or they were ostracized, possibly. Look at that branch down here that's growing all by itself, right? So it's like it's disappointing. Yeah, the toxicity. You just got to be quick on your feet. I feel like there's a lot of loss there, possibly, and that's not usually in the Earth card. That's in the Cup card. You know? Yeah, there's shade here. Yeah, these South Noders, they don't want to see that sun. They don't want to see the exposure. You know? It's good for you, however, it still carries those properties. You know? Popularity, really good times around. It's just, I feel like in this area, right, of your lives or whatever, it's not. You know? I understand what you're saying about the cannabis, Jamie. But personally, I'll tell you, I have my medicinal marijuana license. So to me, it's justified. And that's just like a, you know, it's a plan. It's natural, you know. Drugs, designer drugs, absolutely. I am very anti because I've dealt with so much of it, you know, in my life. I personally was never addicted, thank God, but I dealt with it my whole life. So I get where you're coming from. I'm not pro drug use here. You know, that's just the card, you know. Anywho, show me what I need to see. Although I am pro marijuana, so hey, there's that. I don't care, you know. I have my license. I obviously need it for a reason, and it helps me a ton. So there's that. 5 of water, down. I mean, up. Yeah, it is very disappointing. It's very hurtful. It's sad, you know. You know, see how the water's running around those plants. Those plants are probably thirsting for that water, but there's a barrier there stopping it, or something, right? Somebody's just crafting their life, right? Their work, their craft, working on their craft, you know, out of this you know, somebody doesn't want to transform. They don't. Some people are stuck in this world. This is the divide now we see in people and society. You know, people that are on the right path and people that are not. And it's very obvious. We're starting to really notice, even in the grocery stores and gas stations, you know, who's who, right? You get that vibe now. Oops, this just kind of turned over in my hand. 2 of air. Yeah, chicory. That's hard to walk through, right? Because it's so long and it gets tangled up in your feet as you're walking, right? So I feel like it's like a, you know, a nuisance. It's a nuisance I'm getting. Okay. But 2 of air technically is not really knowing of the choice to make, you know, but it's taking the blindfold off and making your choice. Left or right, people, what are we doing? You know, carpenter right over. And animals, you know. It's not a victory. It's just something we got to work on, or something, or deal with, even though we don't want to deal with it. People are dealing with the storms, you know. But who gives a shit? You don't want to deal with it, you know. And I don't blame you. It sounds like, you know. And there's 2 8s right next to each other. Oh, there's another 8 right next to that. All right, a lot of 8s. Do I have any on these cards? No. A lot of 8s. Could be seeing 8s, right? 8's broken down are 4s. 4s are foundations, right? The 4 corners, the foundations of the home, the situation, the whatever, work life. 3 more cards and we can move on. All right, they gave me a couple extras. I'm going to take them. So I have the Chariot, Madre of Fire reversed, 2 of Water, the Fool reversed, and the Madre of Earth reversed. Yeah. On the bottom, 7 of Water. It's all about the grand illusion. It's not what it seems, or somebody's wearing a mask, or, you know, you get that idea. There's something not right. There's something off, right? There's like, it could be a spell, right? It's an illusion. For some of you, it could be a glorified illusion. Am I getting grandiose kind of vibes? Hence, narcissistic vibes. Alright, I'll go with it. There's the Chariot. Who gives a shit? We're moving on. Things are happening fast. This is the fastest card moving card in the deck, right? So things are really happening. I noticed that circle again, you know. I'm getting the what comes around goes around, you know, kind of thing. I think you're working on something in the ethers, you know. Are you crafting something behind the scenes, so to say, you know? And you know, moving on, or this could be travel, right? Who gives a shit? Madre of Fire down. Yeah, bad magic. She's crafting her time. I'll show it to you upright. She's crafting with her time. The herb, right? Hope, fear, challenge, and homework. She was crafting bad shit through time. It was toxic. Whoever this is, male or female, I don't give a shit. Right? The hope, fear, challenge, and homework is a solitary emptiness, or I don't know, is it like crickets? Even though crickets technically aren't in the desert, but you know, like things are very still. Okay. 2 of Cups. There is a union there that you care about, or a reunion. Something's in the ethers. Yeah. Somebody's not taking a chance, however. They don't want to. This could be about neglect or abandonment, right? Or, resources even, because the Pentacle reversed. Yeah, South Node. Somebody's crafting some bad shit, and somebody's trying to take care of business behind the scenes and not deal with it. Okay, that's where we're going with that. I'm going to take my Antiqued Anatomy tarot deck, and we're going to get more information. 6 of Coins reversed. Energy and synergy, yeah, reversed. It wasn't like an even flow, you know, of exchange or something. Or it could be like no reciprocation or something. The Lovers, yeah, the 2 of Cups over there and the Lovers here. This one's under the Carpenter. Your partner, you're maybe some of your life partners, right? Maybe it's just a good friend, but whatever. Companionship and animals, yeah. You care about this person. You don't want this person to see the Tower, to see the realizations, or something. Justice down. We have 1 up, 1 down. Ding, 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 ding. It's very unjustified. You're working on it. Who gives a shit? This who gives a shit card usually is a, like, I think what it's trying to tell me is you're trying to work on the injustice of all the bullshit, the toxicity and what, right? Move on and grow, right? Because you don't want to deal with it. Who gives a shit? This is stupid. You want to solve it so you can move on, kind of thing, maybe. All right, 10 of cups down. Yeah, toxic. It's thrown off a family dynamic. The family, there's something off. You know, the 10 of cups is the happy home. But when it's reversed, there's something off, right? Things are moving. It's very toxic. Something's toxic around that home. There's a fire in the house. You gotta move. You gotta think quick. Yeah? Somebody's on their own here. Are these people like who are these people is my question. Five of Swords reversed came out when I asked that. Now we have the Justice card. And the, you know, what's fair is fair. The brutality is not accepted. Okay? The brutality of it, or the cruelty, the narcissism, the raggedy south node, low riding, whatever. Something's in the ethers. I need a bunch of cards here, please. Ace of Coins. Yep. Adelita of Fire. Yeah. Somebody's taking the opportunity and working on things. That's what that's saying. Ace of Coins. Yeah. 8, 7. Yeah, there is an illusion here. Definitely. This is like we had the 7 of Water. Now we have the 7 of Cups. Yeah. This is definitely like wearing masks. This is not. There are some things that are probably hidden still, and that's where I'm getting that probably from, is like you're doing it behind the scenes, like you're trying to, you know, take care of shit your own way behind the scenes, you know, because you're just, you know, who gives a shit? You're tired of giving a shit is what it is, or something. That's what I feel for a lot of yous anyway. Show me, I need a bunch. And there's a bunch. I'll take them. Alright, we got 3 of Wands. Yeah, not dealing with it, right? You don't want to deal with the saga or the drama, right? You're moving on. You're looking, you know, you're waiting for your harvest. You want to grow and glow up and show up, man. You know? I like it. I like it, Libra. Yeah, 3 of Cups. This is like a union, a gathering, right? Could be like a pool party or a barbecue or dinner or however it is, whatever. There's a lot of disappointment there, however. There's a lot of sadness and it could be guilt for some. Some people it might be like regret. They got to get over that. They got to let that go. No regrets. It ain't good. Right? 10 of Cups down, yeah. 8 of Cups down again. Ding, 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 ding. Who gives a shit? Nobody wants to deal with this. Right? The South Node. Nobody wants to. The sun's shining. Right? It's reversed. It's shining. But we can't really fully enjoy it, you know, until something like whatever you're crafting behind the scenes, you know, there was a sacrifice there. Somebody wanted to sacrifice someone or something. Maybe you had to sacrifice something, you know. Somebody took the opportunity. Somebody took it, you know. Bad choices and decisions, you know. 222 888 555, you know. Yeah. Yeah, bad choices and decisions. You know, the 2 of Swords reversed is being clarified by the 2 of Swords. So, you know, making those choices, changing those choices, or being more present and changing, right? Seven of Pentacles, Nine of Wands, King of Blades, Page of Blades, and the Death card reversed. Yeah, these South Node people are not going to change, okay? They're not going to change. I think at this point in time, any of the South Node people that were going to change already had their chance, and if they miss the boat, then they miss the boat. So whoever's left in the South Node on this planet, I personally feel like they're not going to change. They're going to, because of that divide now between people, right? The light, the dark. It's kind of getting very white, black. Yeah? Left, right. What are we doing? Yeah. Yeah, you're working on things. You're working on your craft, though. However, moving on to bigger and better things, right? You're leaving the drama and the sagas behind. You don't really want to deal with it. You know what I mean? It's very exhausting. You know, it's probably depleted a lot of people, a lot of energy vampires out there. Hope, fear, challenge, and homework. It was very toxic for a lot of you. And I don't think you want it. I think you don't want it, actually. Now, the one that's not so innocent after all, fool down, or maybe even timid and that, right? It's about the truth. I feel like you're being the Libra, this King of Swords could very well be you, male or female, speaking the truth. The King of Swords is very logical and knowledgeable. They know what they're talking about, right? Page of Blades, yeah. Could be investigative kind of energies or gossip going on. Something's in the ethers. I think this King of Blades really doesn't want this ending, but they're doing their research. They're trying to be fair and logical, maybe, and just fair-minded. That's a very Libra trait, so that would make sense, trying to make it right. Trying to make, what's fair is fair. All right. So that's what you're going to be working on, mostly, in the next few weeks. Yeah, it's about your wish fulfillment, what makes you happy. Make a wish, by the way. Go ahead. Make it from your heart of hearts, but I'll give you a moment. It's in the ethers. Just know that. You're the only one that's going to know if that wish comes true or not. Right? I am going to give you an oracle from my new deck, the Forest Elf Oracle. Yeah. Some people are very stubborn. They don't want to grow. It's just the way it is. It's hard to watch, it's hard to deal with, it's hard to see, but these realizations, show me what I need to see. The Whispering Leaves. I'll show it to you in a second. Listening to the secrets of nature's wisdom. Listening to the secrets of nature's wisdom. Well, we got companionship and animals, and then we had growth and plants. Yeah, I feel like a lot of you very well could be very intuitive. Possible starseeds, healers, that kind of, mystic. Don't have the high priestess on this table. but I kind of am getting this vibe. Anywho, when you're in the stillness, that's when you get messages and signs. That's when things come to you. You may not even realize it. It just happens. All right, well, we're going to go with that. There's a lot to learn from nature itself if we would slow down and listen. Okay? Show me. Show me. All right, they're being choosy. There's not many cards in this deck. There it is. Rose. Representing love, beauty, and healing. The delicate petals of the rose reminds us to nurture our relationships and to take care of ourselves. Yeah, I'm getting, like, there's this saying that I've learned through watching this program, and it's compassionate detachment and staying in compassionate detachment, but how did it go? And conscious and new, you gotta stay in a neutralized, I forget now, damn it. But the compassionate detachment, like care, right? Don't not care, but put it towards yourself so you have the energy, the healing, the vitality, and strength and renewal to give back, or something like that. You know, that's going to bother me now. I can't remember it. Damn it. Anywho, yeah, I'll give you one more of these. Oh, I want to give you a rune as well. So I'll give you that after this. Yeah, falseness. Yeah, falseness. Like something's fake. They're wearing a mask. There's an illusion. Something's hidden. Right? That's what that is. It's like clarifying all of that up in one card. That's cool. I can't make it up. All right, your rune for the next couple weeks. Very cool picture. It's the Hermit's Home. Yeah, we got this solitaire desert card. So, all right, it says, a house is but a simple building. A home, however, is the warmest kind of feeling. That's nice. I feel like a lot of you have a really nice, loving home, you know, to get away from this. Anywho, place Tillandsia, okay? Place Tillandsia air plants in the home for resilience and healing. That's cool. I never knew that. Like, I remember when I went down to Florida, I used to get those little air plants and bring them home, you know, and put them on your fridge or on your windowsill. But I didn't realize they were for resilience and healing. So you may want to check that out. Little trivia for the day there. Anywho, those are your messages, Libra. Be cool, man. Be kind. Be patient. And just be a good human. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. So I'll be back in a couple weeks with your next messages. Take care.